We throw about 2 full trash bags full of trash out a week.
Everybody throws trash away, you know? It's a smelly thing, but I guess with time you get used to it, so I don't really think about it that much.
It wouldn't take a whole lot to redirect a lot of this good stuff that's going in the trash.
I don't know how to say this, but we're actually kind of a laughingstock at the international community and how we approach the management of trash.
We definitely throw out more than I would like to. It's convenient to put it out there. It's not just convenient for the act of you just walk out to your curb and set it there and someone else comes and takes it away. It's convenient because you don't have to see that. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about where it's going or the impact that it's having on, you know, on their futures.
Looking for my truck, 36138. Every day is different. You're driving all day, but it keeps you on your toes. It's never boring.
These are just trash from all over the world that I've collected. They teach about recycling and the beneficial use of waste. It's something that everybody generates and everybody creates. And so it basically boils down, it's everybody's responsibility.
We try and plan out a menu and actually do a list, not only for waste, but obviously it saves money too. If we go shopping without a list, it's out of control. We buy just junk. We buy so much stuff that we don't need.
Do you have your keys in your wallet?
It's over there.
They're supposed to cardboard wrap it up on rope so it could be easier for us just to grab it and put it in. They tend to forget, so we help them out.
In America, in LA County, it's just too convenient and too cheap to dispose of trash in landfills. In most of these other countries, they have had mandatory bans on landfill disposal. We don't have that in this country. We still rely on landfills, and landfills are relatively cheap.
Continue on to CB Landfill Road.
It used to be a canyon, and so we dug out the sides, they put liner in, and then filled it back up with trash. And we're up to about 300 feet right now. We're downwind of the green waste. They're pushing the green waste, so that's what we smell right now is the green waste. If we were on the other side, then you can smell the trash, and it is a little bit different smell. And then it all depends on what comes in. You get a restaurant load, they can be nasty. The truck that dumps trash today, in about 30 days, it starts to decompose or change, and it starts to create methane. We want to collect that methane and turn it into electricity. I wasn't here one day, but we had a whale come in. They brought a whale in, and we had a cluster bomb, but the Navy had to come and pick up. Normally, it's just normal trash. Compactor smashes it down. Every night, it has to be completely covered. We'll show you the falconer. He chases all the birds away.
Peregrine falcons have been thousands of years chasing seagulls, and we want to use the most effective bird for what we're doing. And we don't want the seagulls coming in, taking trash and going to water sources and cross-contaminating the trash with the water sources and also the neighboring cities. If we weren't here doing this, there'd be thousands of seagulls here every day. Everything except for her little transmitters comes off when she goes and flies, her hood comes off. Here we go. You have to stand back a little bit. It's the fastest animal on the planet.
do remember that it was kind of sad just seeing all of that dump just in that one place.
I do remember vividly that John coming back and telling me about his experience with the kids and me feeling really bad. And I do remember having lots of conversations with the kids after that. Do we really want to buy that? Because we know where it's going to end up.
I think I've had like less like unnecessary things. Yeah. Just things that you only play for like 2 minutes and then it's gone. And I don't order Happy Meals anymore, so that's no McDonald's toy.
Right here, yeah, you got your plastic bottles. It's all recyclable right here. If you could put your hand in there and you don't have a bad smell coming out of the cans, that's usually pretty good.
What do you guys think goes in recycling? Maybe some things you think should go in there.
Plastic water bottles, cardboard,
paper.
Glass.
Yeah.
I don't really know if all of that paper is recyclable, but we put it in there. Some of it is probably actually trash.
This will end up going through the system and not be recognized at all, and it'll end up going out of the trash chute. It's not paper, it's not cardboard, and it's not a plastic that we want, that we can even handle. We receive between 700 and 850 tons of recyclables per day. About 18 to 22% of that is considered residue or trash that can't be recycled. Plastic bags actually, they wrap around shafts and stars, and because they float, they actually float at times and they block things like photo eyes and sensors from working properly. So we actually encourage the customers to collect them at the resident and take them back to a grocery store where they can actually properly recycle them. The material gets received in, it goes into the drum feeder, and then the material goes up to the pre-sort belt where the manual sorters have the first opportunity to remove any trash or anything that's going to bind the system, meaning chains, cables, hoses, or large items that can't fit through the system. After that, everything else falls downward underneath the screens and goes onto the post-sort belts, which then we have another manual team that removes any of the cardboard that was missed. Once the material filters through the system, it gets baled, and then we actually sell our product. 95% of it goes to China. Right around 5% actually stays in the United States. Recycling is a commodity like everything else, so the prices fluctuate based on the economy, the fair market, and what the demand is overseas or even locally.
There's so many recyclables I find in the trash bin. Things like glass, aluminum, plastic bottles, cardboard boxes. None of that should be, of course, in the dumpster. Sometimes there'll be like a bag of rice or nuts or something, and when they open the case, they accidentally slit the package, and so they throw it out. When we head out, we'll grab some flashlights. We wear like some old clothes because it'll get dirty. We might grab a couple of plastic bags. And then when we get there, of course, we'll look around and see who's there. We usually go pretty late, like 11 at night. There's usually no one around. I just take a look like this, and if it's just trash, then I put it aside. It is fun because there's always a surprise to it. You never know what you're gonna find. I see it as resources that are just gonna go to waste. You can tell right away there's food. Just feel how heavy it is. Probably most of the stuff that we take home, we actually give away because we're always finding a lot. There's a lot more stuff thrown out than people are going and rescuing. I didn't get everything on my shopping list yet, but I'm not done. February 12, 2017. So why would this be in the bin? I've seen estimates of how much food is wasted in this country. It's about half of the food that we produce, which is kind of crazy when you have people that are malnourished or not eating enough. Last one? Hold on, that works.
stuff you wouldn't imagine, stuff that you would be like, oh my God, how do you deal with that? You can see a lot of stuff on the ground and you'd be like, that's not normal, but you're used to seeing it, so you go with it.
Actually, I'm very proud of the city of Los Angeles for taking a huge step to actually look at converting the solid waste as a resource into energy and other useful products from trash. The incinerators in California, we actually process the ash and actually use them for roads in the landfill, but they're still ending up at the landfill. In Japan, they're actually taking the ash and converting it to building materials.
The trash is coming from, various cities. A lot of it could be commercial trash, so you'll get, scrap wood that can't be recycled. Any of the unrecyclable materials that are normally sent to a landfill are oftentimes sent to our facility for incineration and then burnt to generate electricity. We are located inside of the crane cab. Our one refuse crane picks up the trash down from the pit and loads up the charging chute, and within the charging chute, the trash is filled and packed with trash that gets fed into the furnace for incineration. Within our system, we're injecting different chemicals. For example, we're injecting ammonia to control NOx emissions, and we're controlling our SOx emissions and hydrochloric acid by injecting different types of lime. Basically, what happens within the system is it creates a reaction that will minimize and control the emissions.
Japan actually made it a community-based facility. It's not just that the facility that manages the solid waste is actually located in the center of a community, but how they have actually incorporated the community to be part of the facility. So what you see here is actually the community swimming pool that is part of the gasification facility, and that is the community hot tub. And then it's the community thrift store. These are all located in the same location where they manage the trash for the entire community.
Yay! May 30th is our open house.
Okay.
To see them happy, it makes my day right there.
The problem, at least in California, is the state legislation, the state regulatory infrastructure is, I'm going to say, it's kind of in disarray. It's not really very supportive of these alternative approaches. You are not going to get to 90% diversion from landfill without some form of thermal processing. That's pretty much what's going on in the world today. And if you create energy from trash, then you're offsetting the use of oil, natural gas, coal. We're actually probably about 25, 30 years behind. So we have a lot of catch-up to do.
I do want to find ways to lessen our footprint. I do want to. And if someone can show us how to do that, I'm happy to do it. Even with the shopping, as my wife was saying, that I think it's just habit or instinct that you just grab those little bags for the produce. And it's just something that I'm accustomed to. And then the first thing we do when we bring it home is we throw the bag away.
I do not get the bag.
People do recycle, but sometimes they try to recycle and put trash inside the recycling. Customers have put dead animals in the cans. It was a raccoon. Up in the hills. Let me pick this up real quick. $135.